Haven't done much filming in the last 2 days, but I have been busy. Got absolutely sick of the leaks on this car, so I stripped the whole front off it, and I've also ripped off the valve covers and all of that. I've made up some catch can lines and obviously mounted my catch can down here. I still got to paint the mounts. I made some radiator brackets as well, so these need to be sandblasted and painted too. This is my new turbo oil drain, or half of it. That's got to go on. I'm just waiting for some heat sleeve to turn up. Valve covers aren't bolted down. They're just sitting there because I've got some weld-on fittings to go on, which are these here. The main culprit for all the oil in this entire engine bay was the power steering pump, which was pissing oil out of everywhere. That has now been cleaned up. Put through the ultrasonic cleaner. Thing is spick and span. Cleaning up the timing covers. It's not quite a good black. Someone painted it and it's gone all funny. Painted the balancer while it's off as well, along with the serpentine tensioner. Now this was actually stripped, which was really annoying, so I forced an M12 tap through it, and that should fix that issue. And that's about where I'm up to so far. So Bill's gonna work some magic and buzz those fittings on the covers. Since they're aluminum, the GEs are actually magnesium, so you have to buy press-ins, which is a bit of a pain, but I don't have a GE, I've got a GTE. Gonna finish painting everything that I need to, so I'll sandblast my mounts and do what I need to do, clean them up, paint them all nice, and then get it ready to go back together. And once everything's been welded up, I pretty much should be good to go. I've just got to paint the valve covers themselves and then put them on, put the billet washers, and we're good to go again. Just clean the underside up and sort the power steering leak, or sorry, on the rack side at least, something's leaking. And then it is finally, supposedly, good for a warrant. Obviously in a million bits and not painted, but the next clip should be all nice and painted and finished up. There we go. It may not look like much has changed, but a lot has changed. That was supposed to be a simple transition over like 2 days, and I literally just couldn't help myself, and it turned into a bay shave. There was about like 25 or 26 hours alone in relocating that fuse box, which is now under the carpet inside the passenger footwell. And here's some clips that I took. It was pretty miserable. It is currently 2 a.m. on a Saturday morning at the moment. Trying to wire in this fuse box relocation. It has taken quite a while, quite a lot of effort, and it is freezing in here. It is sub-zero in the shed. All my thermals on and a balaclava just to stay warm while I wire this thing up. Fuse box is sitting in here, but not plugged in or hard mounted yet. Sits right next to the ECU, quite nice, and this is a perfect spot for this, right in here in the passenger footwell. I reckon starting to come along pretty good. It is a huge difference with all of that missing in this corner. That fuse box took up this whole entire area and the battery. You guys already would have seen the finished product, but I thought I would take a quick clip in between just to show what went into this fuse box relocation. It is a mission. Not to mention the mess it makes and all the wiring and things I've used. My spools of wire, tools, crimps, heat shrink, everything. A lot of effort. The radiator has been mirror polished on the top. I made up some new brackets to hold it down. Also got a catch can in here now, and obviously the respective lines. Clamped with purple separators and had AN10 fittings welded on. Covers have been painted in gloss black. Intake pipe was repolished. New line on the power steering there and on the other side. Everything in here has been through the ultrasonic cleaner. The fuel pressure rig now hides way back behind the strut here. Out of sight, out of mind. Painted up the strut tops and had new nuts with new washers under it. Heater control box has been ripped off and restored. New hoses, new clamps, P-clamps all painted. All the boost lines are nicely routed at the back, even P-clamped. The entire front's been off, painted every single pulley, painted the timing cover, set the marks up. The top coolant pipe has been mirror polished. That took hours to do. Even polished the one down the bottom as well. Everything under the intake manifold is as clean as you can possibly get, even though it still does look a little bit messy. You cannot simplify this any more than it is, otherwise the car won't run properly. I also stripped down the front and repainted the whole front support, so it's nice and glossy to match the radiator. Both headlights and fog lights have been sanded and clear coated. They were pretty nasty and yellow, so they are now like new. Washer bottle I relocated to the front and then obviously rewired that. There is probably 100 other things. Obviously this took me quite a while. So yeah, it is now as clean as I can possibly get it, essentially. Been restoring the wheels as well. One of them was pretty bad, so I've repainted the face and I'm just going through and polishing the lips, but I've got my jack stands on the 32 at the moment, trying to sort that for Revan, which will be done this Friday. I had a change of heart last night. I liked the lines coming down originally, but it just wasn't it. It was different, but it wasn't cool. So I actually managed to move the catch can over here, mount it with the same exact bracket on the power steering, and the lines still fit. I literally just flipped them 180 degrees. And to be totally honest, it does look a million times better. So the fuse box relocation was not a waste of time. Personally, I think that looks killer. For a street car, that's got street cred. So pretty happy with that. I would almost consider that bay entirely finished at this point, other than fitting on the turbo drain. Bill's fabricating that at the moment. That's it. Today I really want to fix that Misfire for good because I'm sick of it, and now that I actually am going to start driving it, it needs to be addressed because obviously the last 5 years this car has sat here, it didn't go anywhere, so I didn't really care to fix the Misfire because it just did not affect me. But now obviously since it moves around and it does drive, I need to sort it because it is a genuine issue. So I'm going to rip the AAC valve off and also check out the IACV and then double check my vacuum leaks as well because it's obviously in that department. I'm going to start this thing up and pinch this hose here, and if the idle drops and the car dies, it means it's all good and they're actually closing off properly. Now if it doesn't, means I'm getting unmetered air from somewhere else. Tried it out again. Now it seems to be leaking a bit of air in here as well. So I'm going to rip all this off. I'm going to clean this up and then try that. Clean the plumbing up and clean the AAC. Everything got pulled off and cleaned. AAC valve's been through the ultrasonic cleaner. That is all mint. I've had the hoses in boiling water, softened them up. Got a new hose there. It is blue, unfortunately. I will have to fix that. But it's the only one I had that actually fits that size, and it was better than the last one. So I'll start it up, see if it's fixed it. If not, not really sure where else to look. That's with the AAC valve unplugged. The brown one that I took off, that I cleaned up. So that's unplugged. Currently closed with the screw all the way in. Well, it's not misfiring anymore, but it is idling high, but maybe it's because it is still quite cold and it's waiting for that warm up to come down, but I would have thought it would come off by now. It's a fucking cam angle sensor. Oh my god. Well, that I believe was it. The cam angle sensor, swapped it out for one that I know is bad. It has timing scatter above 5,000 RPM and it is a million times better. So obviously my case that I had is completely garbage, which checks out because it doesn't sound very good and it's quite tight. So it's starting to seize up. Another cold morning. The old viscous hub's just freed itself up, so that's quietened it down. Got to go to town, and one of my good mates, Matua Ethan, is going to do an alignment on this thing. And then once I get my alignment sheet and my proof of alignment, I need to head back to JJ's, Paddleby, where this car has been 2 times now. And Chris, the repair certifier, is going to check the repairs that have been done, take some photos, sign it off, and we should be good. So I've got some tools with me. When I turn off the JJs, I can whip the bumper off in case Chris wants to see that. And then I've got some part numbers as well. So there's a guy over in Nelson who's given me some part numbers. They are NSK part numbers, which is what B&T had. Maybe they'll have better luck with that, maybe not sure, but we'll see how it goes. When I got some petrol because the thing was getting a bit low again. I only chucked like 40 bucks in because it's NPD cheap day tomorrow, so I suppose I can wait for that. So on the way to ITS, and yeah, gotta get my alignment done. Also gone ahead and listed the RB30 on Marketplace. So if any of you are Marketplace browsers, you'll probably see the listing for that. Kind of sad to see it go. Obviously I did build it for the sole reason just to sell it, have some fun, make some content with it. But I'm pretty proud of this one. Every engine build that I do, it rolls out of the shop or stays in the shop. I try and make it better than the last one every single time. Now whether that's going the extra mile to paint a certain thing or do a certain job, just make it look nicer, use different hardware, better parts, anything. I'm always looking to improve on what I do every single time. I reckon this is one of my peak motors. Apart from the 28, I was quite happy with that, other than the fact that I used set screws and not cap screws. I mean, you'd be lying if you said they didn't look gangster sitting together. 35 coils, billet washers, nice zinc colors on it, everything's clean, new bolts. Cleaning up your timing marks on your balancer is the best thing you can do for $0. Insane difference. And you see nice yellow for 0 degrees, and then every other increment is white and 5 degrees with a white timing pointer. It just looks so good. But anyway, it's gotta go. I need the money. This needs to go on the road, and I need to get my ass moving. So I'm gonna put this car back together. I have fixed the things wrong with it. It is going for a recheck tomorrow, which is a Friday. Still the same week, because I did my initial check on this Monday. That's, well, this week. So that should pass, and then I'm a free man. I have a car that has a warrant and I have plates ready to go. And when I get it home, I'm going to pull the front GTST 4 pots off and fit up my R32 GTR front calipers and rotors that I have down there. And then I can throw my GTST big brake set for sale. So they will be up on Facebook. Probably fit the screamer pipe back on. Might do that and tie wire the internal gate shut. Then chuck the coilovers in as well. They're about the same height because I don't know why it's taken me 5 years to realize, but it actually has lowering springs in this. And they're quite firm though. So when I chuck the coilovers in, they're a lot lower, but they have the factory kind of spring rate. They're quite soft and they're very nice to drive on. Then I've got to sort the cam angle sensor out. So this one is buggered. I know it is, but it's better than the last one. So I'll swap that out, set my timing because it's idling quite high. I don't have a half moon in this cam. It's broken off, a very common problem. So I'll set that where it needs to be, and then that should drop the idle down because obviously there's too much timing right now, which brings idle torque up. As there's so much power, it's drawing more air into the next cycle, which in turn raises your idle. That is just how, well, ignition, engines, this is how they work. So yeah, throw that back together, because obviously I can't drive it to the revin place tomorrow in this state, and go from there. All back together, just got to drop it on the floor, taking the axle stands out. There we go. Right, I've just changed the wheels over. I put a pair of GTSTs on the front outside of my mate's work. Liam, you fucking legend. So now I'm off to Auto Gear, get my revin, sign it off, put my GTR wheels back on. That's it, let's fucking go. In that last clip you saw, I was chucking on my GTR wheels back on this thing as they have a little problem. So I just had to change them out with some GTSTs. Now, it passed. I have a warrant. It has been 1,756 days. That is what today's day is since I paid for this car. It's been a long journey. Now this thing has come from Palmerston North, which is where I got it from, and it finally has a VTNZ 2027 warrant of fitness on it. Now it's been legal for about probably an hour and 15 minutes now since I've got home. So what I'm going to do is make it not that. I'm going to pull the suspension out. I'm putting my coilovers back in. I'm going to put my 32 GTR brakes on. I'm going to make this thing not street legal, because I don't like having that kind of thing around my place. That's what we're working with. Got my coilovers back out and my R32 GTR calipers. 32 GTR are the same as 33 GTST, minus the fact GTR say Sumitomo right there, which I shaved off for a cleaner paint job. Now the standard GTST is for all that 4 pots are 280mm, and these are 296mm rotors. So I'm going to give these a quick clean up on the wire wheel, just so they're not as rusty as they are, and then throw them on. Good brake upgrade, more GTR parts. 30% of the way there, the old coils are in fact out on the bench, and the teens are slapped in the rear. That's all done. Now I just have to strip the front coils off and the front brakes. Got the front calipers off. Now there is a good comparison compared from R32 GTR in the middle and GTST in Series 4 on the left and right. Can definitely tell the circumference of the rotor is bigger, or sorry, the diameter I should say. Calipers look nicer, and well, they're bigger too. Ideally you would throw a BM50 cylinder with it as well. It might be BM57, can't quite remember the exact number, but it's still better than what I had. Better heat dissipation, bigger rotor, better GTR. Don't need to keep explaining myself. And here we are, 32 GTR, brakes and rotors, and coilovers back in both sides. Just had to steal the brake pads out of the GTST 4 pots, as I had TRWs in there, and only Repco branded ones in the GTRs. So I swapped them over, the Repcos are out, TRWs are in, bleed the brakes, did it on my own, bit of a pain in the ass, but I have some aluminium tube that is the right length that I press down and then jam the seat against it. Works all good, just had to do that 3 times, and yeah, that's it. Not going to put the screaming pipe on just yet, because obviously I've only just rebuilt the motor. Still want to take it easy. It still only has 1040 in there, and my 1060 that I've got is hanging around. Just got to put some Ks on the motor, and I'll drain it out, chuck my good oil in, and then it's on. Well, there we go. Wheels are all tight. That's it. Car is officially not WAF spec anymore. Now I have all these for sale. So if someone in New Zealand here wants a big brake set, 5-star converting your Laurel, your Ceph, your Silv, whatever. If you want a set of Z32 or R32 big brakes, message me. They're for sale. Brand new rotors. I've done, I guess 115, 120 kilometers on them. Had to buy them brand new for the revin to, well, have fresh brakes, otherwise they pick on you. So that's the joys of revinning in New Zealand. That is these things you have to do. Brand new pads of a specific brand, brand new brakes, everything. Everything is just so meticulous. So they have a sale because I don't need them, but I had to buy brand new ones. Anyway, off to VTNZ tomorrow for its hopefully final trip. before the inevitable green sticker, potentially. Obviously it's hard to tell with the brakes and coilovers. Just say the lowering springs, they do hide quite well with factory strut tops. But yeah, go there tomorrow and get some new plates and get some rego. And that's it. I'm untouchable. I'm on the street. I'm legal. There's nothing the long dick of the law can do to dick me down. Anyway, that's where I'm going to wrap this video up. It's probably getting quite long. So that's it. Got my car at warrant, ready to go. And all I got to do is go get some plates and make it look legal from the outside. So cool stuff. Anyway, yeah, I'll catch you guys on the next one.